Welcome to the University of Nottingham and to the Department of Theology and Religious Studies. With me is the current head of the department, Professor Francis Knight, and Francis is going to introduce the two MAs that the department runs, which are run specifically for distance learning students. In other words, students who are anywhere in the world, working at home or wherever, but they're not physically here in Nottingham, and they relate to the department through using the internet and the post and through watching videos like this one. Francis, first of all, name the two MAs.
Okay, well, we have two MAs. The first one is in church history, and the second one is in systematic and philosophical theology. And because that can sometimes seem like a bit of a mouthful, we sometimes shorten that to SPT.
Okay, tell me about the structure of church history and SDP.
Okay, well, they follow the modular structure that is common within UK universities. And in order to complete the full MA, you have to do 120 credits of modules, and then you do
That's courses you take.
Courses or
essays
classes, sometimes is the term used in North America. Modules, we would call it. So 120 of those. And the modules that we have are now available in units of 20 and 40.
So you could take 3 40s, 6 20s, or a mix, as long as it added up to an even amount of 120.
That's it, yes. And then after that, you can do a dissertation, and that's worth 60 credits. And so you've then got a total of 180 credits, and that is sufficient for you to have got the MA. We have some other exit points, so not everyone, of course, wants to do the full MA. You can exit having just taken the 120 credits of modules, and that gives you a postgraduate diploma, or you can exit with 60 credits, and that would give you a postgraduate certificate in higher education.
And some people are actually nervous about the idea of a whole MA. They could initially just think of themselves as just doing 60, and then if it's not for them, leave, or 120, because some people find the idea of writing a dissertation nervous.
Yeah, exactly. And people pay per module, so that's something also worth bearing in mind.
Tell me some more things about these two degrees.
Okay, well, we've been running them since 2010, so we're fairly well, they're fairly well bedded in, I think is the expression. At any one time, the numbers do fluctuate a bit, but at any one time, we've probably got about 60 students on the two courses, and we have quite a healthy flow through of students coming in and then completing. Length of time to completion obviously varies very much from student to student and people's circumstances. So it is possible for somebody to do it full-time in 1 year, but it's not actually designed for full-time study, and we wouldn't normally recommend it. So I would normally say to someone, look, even if you have a lot of time, think of it as a 2-year project. But for people who are busy, and many of our students have other commitments, they're often in employment, they have families, they may be involved with churches or other activities in the community. Often, in reality, 3.5 to 4 years is the kind of time that feels comfortable. The maximum time that you can take is 4 years, so I should say that it's a time-limited qualification. You can't keep going endlessly.
And the other advantage of people who take the full 4 years is that they actually do lots of extra reading, so they produce a much richer degree.
Yes, so it is. Every people's circumstances vary. Some students actually do want to go faster because they have a clear sense that they're moving into doctoral studies afterwards. That's true for some. A lot of the students that I encounter actually are enjoying it so much that they want to spin it out. And they actually, frequently, I know this may seem strange, but frequently I have students say, I'm sorry to have actually come to the end now. I've been enjoying it so much.
The other thing that people ask is, am I too old?
No. I mean, obviously, we don't have any age limits, nothing of that type. Obviously, you do need to have a certain degree of mental energy, physical and mental energy. Of course, there are a lot of people who would think that they would like to get a degree and think that somehow registering for a degree will make that automatically happen. It is hard work. I mean, I would stress that obviously producing the essays that are required to the standard that's needed, and then working on the dissertation and working through the modules, of course, it's a serious task. So you do need to actually have the mental energy. People sometimes ask me about resources. Obviously, as a University of Nottingham student, you have access to all our online library resources, and with every year that goes past, more material is being made available electronically. However, I do say to people that it's useful to explore local library facilities if that's a possibility for you. It is surprising how many theological libraries there are around, certainly in the UK, and I think in the US and in other places as well. And they often do welcome external readers, sometimes with payment of a small fee, sometimes not. So, you know, most theological libraries like to be used. So there is something to be said for actually being able to access some materials. The materials that we offer are a mixture of, we use Moodle, which is the one of the big online virtual learning environments that people may be familiar with from other studies. So the modules are available on Moodle, but at the moment we are still sending them out in hard copy as well, because we know that most students, many students will just print them out, so we know that people like hard copies. So we're still slightly old-fashioned in that sense. We're not fully online.
Okay, but you can do it completely online.
I think you do need to be willing to buy some or obtain from a library some paper resources. Not everything that one may need is guaranteed to be online. I think that's an important point to make.
Any last words that you want to say to a potential student?
I would obviously encourage people who are looking for postgraduate qualification in systematic and philosophical theology or church history to look at us. I mean, we believe that our programs are unique. They're taught by subject experts. I mean, you and I have been heavily involved in them from the beginning. So we've written modules and we tutor modules. The results are impressive. You know, our students speak for themselves in terms of the positive response that they generally give us.
And I would just say that if you want to get a flavour of the sort of people who would be teaching you, just to look at more of these videos.
Yes, I mean, many of the people who feature in these videos also feature in our teaching in various ways.
Frances, thank you.
Thank you.